One of the key importance of staffing function is effective staffing decides effectiveness of other managerial functions. Understand that staffing is a key for effective performance of other managerial functions like planning, organizing, directing, controlling. I'll explain this in greater detail how staffing decides the effective performance of these managerial functions. See, understand, for planning, you need people. For organizing, you need people. For directing, you need people. For controlling, you need people. Now, if you don't recruit appropriate workforce, competent workforce, what will happen? All these planning, organizing, directing, controlling functions will not be performing smoothly. Hence, for better functioning or smooth functioning of all these managerial functions, the key aspect is to recruit the competent workforce. Which naturally means if you recruit the competent workforce, which means the recruitment process is effective, automatically what happens? Since you recruited a competent workforce, they'll ensure that as per the task given, they'll perform in different functional areas. So what happens? The effective staffing leads to competent workforce, which ensures the effective performance in their respective areas. Hence, competent workforce is essential for smooth and efficient functioning of various functional areas like marketing, like sales, like production, like finance. So if you recruit appropriate competent person based on their qualifications, skills, expertise and experience, then automatically they'll work according to their expertise. Let us understand here what do you mean by competent workforce is. Competent workforce means a personnel who is capable of delivering the work as per its requirement. So he's skilled enough, qualified enough and experienced enough to deliver the work in given timeline in a very effective. So competitive workforce leads to effective performance in all the functional areas of the organization and different functions of managerial functions. Hence, the smooth functioning of the organization largely depends on the effectiveness of staffing. So, in simple word, effectiveness of other managerial functions largely depends on effectiveness of staffing. Now, what happens in staffing? We recruit people. So, while recruiting, competent workforce has to be recruited, which means at the time of recruitment, the proper qualification, expertise, skills and experience has to be taken into consideration while recruiting the candidate. So if this staffing function has been performed effectively, automatically what happens? Now you have people who are experienced enough for planning, organizing. You have experienced people for directing and controlling. So automatically, effective performance of other managerial function will be established because of the effective recruitment. In fact, the competent workforce will lead for the smooth functioning of other functional areas like sales, marketing, financials and production, so on and so forth. So, for overall organization's growth and smooth functioning and success, the effective staffing plays a great role. Let us take an example. Let's say there is a requirement of a salesperson in my team. And what the recruitment or the staffing department does, what? They recruit a person who is not ready to go out in the market and do sales. Will he deliver as per the required objective of the organization? No. So what is the problem? Is the problem with the candidate or is the problem with the staffing or recruiting process? Yes, the problem is with staffing and recruitment process as the effectiveness of staffing has not been achieved. They have not recruited the appropriate or competent person for the sales. On the contrary, if you recruit an appropriate person who has a sales experience of around 2 years in a reputed other company, he is ready to work round the clock, achieve organization's target, well, automatically he'll deliver for the organization. Similarly, let us take one more example how effective staffing leads to effective performance of other managerial functions. Let's say I want a all-rounder in my cricket team because I have sufficient batsmen, sufficient bowler, but I'm running short of one batsman and one bowler. I need an all-rounder so that my whole balance of the team is good. But the selection committee does not allow me to choose all-rounder, but they push me to choose a well-trained batsman. Now what has happened? In the actual match, in the batting, my batting score was good, but while in case of bowling, the opponent performed better than us. So again, we felt short of what? One bowler, one good qualified skilled bowler. And that's where, had it been a proper, appropriate all-rounder has been appointed by the selection committee, automatically my performance in the bowling department would have been up to the mark, and there are likely chances that we could have won the matches. So effective performance of the organization of the team was largely depend on effective staffing. So in nutshell summary, well, effective staffing leads to effective performance of different managerial areas or managerial functions. Functions like planning, organizing, directing, controlling. For all these functions, you need competent workforce, which is the key task of the staffing function. So if you have effective staffing functions going, you always recruit competent personnel in the organization. With competent workforce, what you ensure that all the functional areas are performed smoothly and organization's objective is achieved through marketing, through sales, through production, through financials, and so on and so forth. So staffing influences effectiveness of other managerial functions.